Tell me this, dear viewer, in a situation like this, would you rather have one cast of Uranin's Thunderbolt or a single cast of Flock of Doom? Because the results may be quite surprising to you. If we cast Thunderbolt, we get 2,800 damage dealt, and if we cast Flock of Doom, only 1,300. Less than half the damage for the same amount of Winds of Magic. And if we roughly calculate how much Flock of Doom is actually doing here, it's 100 damage per Winds of Magic per unit that it hits. But is this a lot of damage or not a lot? Obviously, Flock of Doom isn't that good compared to Thunderbolt, unless you're hitting 4 targets of about the same price. But Thunderbolt is a pretty difficult spell to aim, so let's instead make a more fair comparison. We know one of the best spells in the game is Pit of Shades, and it'll deal 300 armor piercing damage per Winds of Magic. So rejoice, if Flock of Doom hits 4 targets, it's definitely OP, right? Well, not exactly. While Flock of Doom can definitely be damage efficient when it hits 4 units, it's not actually being that cost efficient. For example, in this case, with a single unit of Chosen and 3 Marauders, Flock of Doom does 2,500 damage, but only 600 of that damage goes on the Chosen, with the rest hitting basic Marauders that my infantry could kill anyways. And while Beastmen don't have access to the Thunderbolt spell, they do have access to Bray Scream, and if what you really care about is taking out high priority threats, Bray Scream is going to be the better spell. For 1 more Winds of Magic, it's dealing an extra 1,000 damage to Chosen, and honestly, Bray Scream isn't even that good. And it's also important to note that Flock of Doom spreads its damage out very evenly. This means it rarely kills entities, and it has less of an effect on leadership. So there you have it. Flock of Doom is definitely a very strong spell if you're hitting 3 or more targets that have more than 25 entities. It's a very reliable source of damage too that can be difficult to dodge. But it's important to remember that not all situations are good for Flock of Doom. Specialized spells can get you double the damage while also targeting much more meaningful units too.